suddenly realize that you've been so good to me. Your mercy is everlasting, undenied, and overwhelming. Who am I that you are mindful of? Who am I that you pick my calls when I call you?
Good morning. I'm Lady AMAKA OKORIE. I'm celebrating my 50 years. That is golden year. It has been an awesome year. It has been a beautiful journey, combining my family with my career, with whom I am, and with my spiritual life. Has been embodied with a lot of beautiful memories, challenges though. This journey began when I was carried in my mother's womb and I was given birth into a family of 5. Being the only daughter in that family gave me a little edge over every other one. Then you have a lot of responsibilities on your shoulder. You have the boys looking up to you. The house is up to you because you're a girl child and they want the best for you. And on this journey, I had a lot of challenges. Oh, the girl child shouldn't be seen much, shouldn't be heard much, shouldn't be exposed much, so that you don't endanger your life. That was a norm then as a growing girl. So I was restricted, not just because my parents hated me, because they were afraid of me not falling into the wrong hands. And those challenges helped me also while I was in secondary school. So I grew with being alone. I grew with having the mind of wanting people around me, but the opportunity wasn't given. I looked at myself and I asked myself, why should I always be deprived of certain things? We come back to school, people talk about things they did while they were in holidays, but I wasn't allowed to do that. So when I finished my secondary school, those challenges I encountered, where I have to be kept back when my father lost his job as the only daughter and they needed the boys to continue. The norms then was the girl child someday will be married, but the boys need to have a family, so they need to be well educated. And I wasn't so happy about that. And my mom also, knowing how brilliant I was, didn't also like that, because I really wanted to be a lawyer. That has been the norm and what I wanted as a woman, as a growing girl. And I didn't allow my not having the privilege of going back to school a hindrance to me. And what did I do? I had to lay that down to God Almighty. So I started talking to God about it, and He did that. That's because of the challenges and because of the value system then my mother inculcated in me. I wasn't meant to go out. I do not have friends. I do not visit. While I was in secondary school, even while others come back during their midterm break, I was meant to stay with the principal because the fear of the daughter being pregnant, the daughter being abused. So I was always locked up. That made me wanted to get married early, because I wanted to run away from that singular act of not having your life the way you want to have it. Having married so early didn't also stop me or limit me to what I wanted in life. So many suitors came, a lot of suitors. People were just trooping in our home. I said, God, I'm beginning to be scared. But when I saw this young engineer came asking my hand in marriage, I said that was my husband. But my parents said no. My cousin Sarah said, no, he's a poor church rat. This engineer will have known all the time. But he was just having his youth service. He lived in the next compound. And I said, no, this is someone I want to marry because he has prospects. I was saying his prospects because he was educated. They said, no, he's always on one jean and always wearing slippers. So he's poor. No, their only daughter will not get married to such a person because he's going to end up suffering and all that. But that wasn't what I saw. And they listened to me at the end of the day. And we got married. And I asked him, the first thing I asked him, I hope I was going to go back to school. He said, why not? I'm educated. So why won't my wife be educated? He's a wonderful person. He gave me the privilege. I wrote my first JAMB with him to be a lawyer. I had a mind then to be a lawyer. Why? Because I wanted to fight for the girl child. I wanted to send this story out. I wanted to stand in for women. I wanted women to be heard and be what they are called for. That was just the reason why I wanted to be a lawyer. But he saw it as, no, I don't want my wife to be a lawyer. That means you're going to leave me. You're going to leave the home and you get to law school. No, no, no. Choose any other course. And I said, mass communication. He said, okay, mass communication will fill the form. Even at that, they said, no, I won't want my wife being seen on the screen all the time. We need to pick a career that will not allow the family to suffer. I want to see my wife all the time at home. I want my children to see their mother. I don't want a career that will deprive the family from being with their mother. So I now asked him the question, which career then do you want me to go into? He said, teaching. I said, teaching? Then you could imagine what teachers are saying to. Teaching is for the poorest people, it's for the older people. So why should I be a teacher? But because I needed to go to school, I accepted that. And I got admission into UST. You could imagine your young husband taking you to school all the time. It takes me the first year, people will be making jest in the campus. So I had to discuss with him, just allow me, let me be free, let me go to school myself. Don't keep taking me to school, they're making jest of me. You could imagine that. He said, why should they be just making jest of you? I love bringing you to school, I love seeing you in the school and bringing you back. But he understood and he decided to leave me. But something could have ended my education. In my third year, when a lecturer walked into the lecture hall of 150 thereabouts, and the first name that came out of his mouth was AMAKA OKORIE. Where's AMAKA OKORIE? And I stood up because I love the front seat. So you could imagine why a lecturer walked into the lecture hall and called your name. You could imagine the fear then in your mind. What have you done? And what he said is, AMAKA OKORIE, could you be on your standing? And I stood up. He looked at me, he said, you're going to be my wife. I looked at him. I've heard about him, a very notorious lecturer. I said, sir, I am married. He said, then you couldn't have come to school if you're married. Go tell your husband that someone else wants to marry you. I was so scared. My friends, they were looking at me. They now knew that I was going to fail his course, philosophy, then. I was scared. After the lecture, I came out and they looked at me and said, someone must have given your name out to him. And we started tracing it. It was our course rep that did that. The boys confronted him, wanted to beat the hell out of him, but it wasn't his fault. I came back home and I told my husband, my education has ended because I've stopped going to school. He said, what happened? I said, you could imagine a lecturer said I was going to marry him. He said, is that why you won't go to school? I said, no, that lecturer is notorious. I wouldn't go to school again. Maybe I'll write another JAMB and continue. He said, no, don't be afraid, let me give you a trick. What you're going to do is when you get to school the next day, go to his office and look into his eyes and you tell him, sir, but I'm married with children. Whatever that gave you that ghost, he will imagine that. And sincerely, when I did that, that ended the entire thing. He became my friend till I graduated and left the school. So I wouldn't say it has actually been easy being an African woman married to an African man that understood what family is all about. In Africa, they don't really understand a woman's career. But if you're lucky to have met a man that understood that you also have your life to live, then your goals and mission will be fulfilled. I am one of those that will always count myself lucky. My understanding about life and meeting a man that also understands life. So that has helped me all this while to combine every of this. I ended up being a teacher. I own my school now, Elite Nursery and Primary School. And the Lord wanted that. I am happy because I have a gift that gift I'll continue to walk in the vineyard of God because He has kept me for a purpose, and that purpose I know I'm going to fulfill till eternity, till He calls me. And the only thing I've prayed for life is to have longevity of life, good health of mind and body. I don't need every other thing in life. What do I need? So I'm using this opportunity to also educate our young women. I see young women not understanding what marriage is all about. They think it's a bed of roses. They think because I'm married, I'm fulfilled, they leave themselves. The man asks again, is this the woman I married? You have to look good. That your marriage doesn't stop you from looking good. I have been married for 27 years. I am 50 today. I am still looking the way I am because I am mindful of who I am and what I am. If God says, I have created you like me, God is beautiful. If you look at everything He's created, it's beautiful. So why will you not be beautiful? Why will you not aim to be beautiful and look nice for yourself and to people around you and to the society? That is just the beauty of life, having to combine all this to the glory of God. God has blessed me with 6 wonderful children, 5 amazing girls and a boy. They have been my teachers, they have been my mentors, they have been my friends. You could imagine all this. I asked myself, who am I? What does the Lord want from me? And actually, I've been asked to take care of the children, which is part of my career, education. I was a fashion designer during my young growing age, during the early time of marriage. So when finally the man accepted you need to continue with your career, the Lord also spoke to me, you need to take care of the children. So I was able to manage the children to a certain level where I was their teacher, I was their mentor, I was their mother, I was their friend. I built into their life because I made them my friend. I made them understand that I am their mother, but they could also rely on me. Every secret, there's no secret without their mother being part of the secret. So we have managed all this. We have done all this. And I've been able to also key into it. Just being the only girl and God blessing you with another 5 girls. It's something when I look back, I say, oh God, who am I that you're mindful of? Nobody. My last child is 14 years thereabout and in SS2. You could imagine. My first son has graduated with a first degree and a master's degree, respectively, in engineering. My first daughter, a medical doctor in the United States of America. My second daughter there, also an engineer. The third one going into medicine. The fourth one, also an arts in US too. You could just imagine having such load on you, having to carry on, helping them in their careers, in their field, in what you want them to know as they grow as family, and having to also have a way for your own career. And my career is a calling, just like the pastors are called. You could just imagine a pastor stands in for other people, not even for his family. That is what my career is. Having number of children, over hundreds, laid in your hands every day. So I wake up in the morning, imagine, they are all my children, because I want the best for them. All I think is what will make them better citizens of this nation and the world at large. So what do I do as a woman? I ask God, what have you called me to do as a teacher? He said, go, give the children the right values. Teach them to understand who they are. Teach them to understand their environment. Teach them to understand that they are kings and queens have created them, and ask them to go dominate the world and make use of everything in their environment. And what do I do every day? Is to lay them in the hands of the Lord. So I must go to the altar of God. I go to church, you could imagine, every morning before I go to work. So that as a woman, most of the times my husband frown over it. You could imagine a man on the bed and you're waking up by 5 o'clock to hit the road. He wants you on the bed with him. But that is the life I have chosen. I try to put all this, manage them together. And most of the careers, you know, are Nigerians. There is a lot of competitions. In my own career, we have a lot of competitions. And most people understand that competition is diabolic. It comes in different ways. But if you know whom you are and what you are, you hold on to it. My foundation has been laid on Christ. I've heard on that. I've also used that to outweigh all the challenges I've had over years. I'm a lady knight of the church. You could imagine the responsibility of a lady. When you're called a lady in a Catholic faith, you know whom you are and what you are. People looked up to you. So when hundreds of people are going the other way, you should be singled out of the crowd, because a lot of young women look onto you. So that has also made me who I am today. It has been a wonderful journey, an amazing journey with lovely people around me, more especially my family, my handsome husband, my children, my wonderful mother, friends and well-wishers, all that has helped me in my path, in one way or the other, in challenging me, in making me who I am, in making me a strong woman I am today. I thank each and every one of you. I congratulate you. The way you celebrated me today, so shall you all be celebrated someday. Celebration will never cease to come in your path. Enjoy yourselves as you live. Let the good Lord continue to go before you, after you. Make a way where there is no way for you. Remember, more celebration is on the way coming. Having 5 lovely daughters, you know what it means. And having a son too. I thank God for a beautiful woman. I thank God that today I am alive celebrating my 50 years. So we'll keep celebrating to the glory of God. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy the rest of your day. Let the good Lord go before you. Bye-bye.
Oh, yes, oh. You are so beautiful. You are so wonderful. You are so marvelous. Lord, you're my everything.